I'm just going to get going. It's been a busy one for us today. So I think we're going to dig right into just a couple takeaway nuggets that should have some value. We do have new people rolling into this each week, despite the lack of marketing. So again, that's exciting, but that does require just a brief intro. So we'll keep that as short as possible. Today, we're just going to do that short intro, and I'm going to go into a really cool content hack that we've started up. We initially started this through our newsletter, and now we're rolling it out as part of a larger content marketing program for not only our clients, but for people who are on this webinar. I'm going to show you a very specific hack for business brokers, because today I think we have 99% business brokers, which is great, because this hack is specifically for you guys. And then I'll roll through some of the content and content marketing options that have become available with BN.Digital. So given the fact that we do have new people rolling in each week, I'm just going to briefly tell you who I am, why you should care. I run BizNexus. We also have BN.Digital. It's the agency, and it's focused exclusively on this world of business acquisition and sale. So primarily business brokers, business intermediaries, but we have buyout clients, we have trust and estate companies, we have boutiques, we have individual acquirers, but everyone is in this world of business acquisition and sale. That's our wheelhouse. That's what we do. That's where I've spent my career. So we are a niche agency for all things social selling. Social selling, if you're not familiar with the concept, basically leveraging everything that the internet has in regards to data and information and networking to develop a targeted stream of primary prospects and referral prospects. So for a business broker, your primary prospect is going to be the business owner, right? That's eventually who you want to get in front of. Somebody, if you're looking for a seller, then somebody who's been running a business for a certain amount of time, business has had a certain amount of growth, a certain size. You want to make sure that you're tracking all the metrics that make this person likely to be in a position of at least thinking about getting business valuation, having conversation about exit planning and such. And then you want to focus on the key referral prospects who are going to be able to deliver that primary prospect, the business owner prospect, in the short term, but certainly over the long term as this snowballs if you're running a targeted social selling program. The end goal of all of this, as I say every week, is to get the cup of coffee, to get the Zoom meeting, depending on where your state is in this reopening. A lot of people are doing Zoom meetings, but people have been doing the socially distant sit downs, and then some people are just going for the one-on-one sit down. So it's all over the place right now. 5 stages of social selling. All of these are working together at all times, but you do want to build sequentially initially. So first things first, you want to make sure that your profiles are bulletproofed and optimized to address the pain points of your end target, of that business owner. So your business owner in the geographic location that you're focused on, or if you're focused on an industry niche, you want to make sure your profile speaks to that, has the right keywords, etc. Targeting. This is something that without fail, with every client that we have with our agency, we really have to dig into the targeting, because this saves so much time if you can get really, really niche with your targeting before you scale, and just eliminate the leads that aren't going to match up as much as possible. That's really, really important before you start building out any campaigns and start scaling any programs. Building, you're running multiple campaigns ideally at a time, focused on business owners, focused on those referral prospects across multiple channels. And then nurturing, you're making these prospects aware of your value proposition, who you are, what you do, that you are a qualified authority within the world of business acquisition and sale. And then capture, again, capturing is getting people off of LinkedIn and into a real world relationship, whether that be a phone call, in-person meeting, Zoom, etc. No real tips that I want to go through today other than be genuine. Don't focus on a close in a market that especially if you're a Main Street broker, transactions might not be where you'd like them to be right now. But ideally, if we have buyers continuing to come into the market and valuations get back to where these sellers are and had their expectations a few months ago, we'll see a nice rush sometime later this year, moving into next year. For now, you want to establish your value proposition. It is a really, really good time for this awareness marketing, for establishing that value prop, because you have so many engaged eyeballs out there on these social platforms. Everybody's spending more time at their desktops, and that's very well, it's helpful for a strategy like this, and this is a trend that's not going to be changing anytime soon. So today with these content hacks, we're going to be hanging out in this nurture phase of the social selling program. So establishing your value proposition. And I'm going to dig right into it. If you're on our newsletter, you probably have seen something along the lines of, over the past couple of weeks, we've been giving the option to complete a questionnaire, right? And so this is really a 5-minute survey, less depending on how many questions you actually answer. And it's really easy. You go through, there are 14 questions. You can skip whatever questions you want, answer whatever you want. But the idea is you're answering these questions, and we're going to turn this into a blog post for you. We're doing this for free, right? So if you have a website, you can put your website in there, and we will backlink from BizNexus directly to your website. So everybody helps everybody with SEO there, and you're piggybacking on our marketing spend, on our domain authority. And you answer questions that help to establish you as a qualified authority in the world of business acquisition and sale, right? What are your thoughts on where the business acquisition and sale market is heading over the next 3 to 12 months? I'm not going to go through all of these questions right now, but they're all relevant to, they're all designed to get your opinion as an authority on topics that really matter for your end prospect, for that business seller. All you have to do is go through and answer these questions. And once you're through, you can also add files. If you have photos, if you have other documents that you'd like to incorporate into the blog post, you can add those right here. Once you submit, we're going to do our magic, and we're going to turn around, and within, depending on the backlog, because we have a lot of activity, within 48 hours, you're going to have a blog post live on BizNexus that looks a lot like this. Now you're seeing a lot of these because we had a big rush this week. So we're going to be doing more interviews, and they're pretty great. So we're linking directly to your BizNexus profile. We're linking directly to your website. We're putting in whatever content you've put in there, and the NCTA, again, to go directly to your website. We will email you, and we will give you the link to the article so you can share that, so you can do whatever you'd like with it. And what we suggest is, if you do want to establish yourself, in the spirit of establishing yourself as a qualified authority, you can add this interview with BizNexus directly to the featured section on your LinkedIn profile. Again, we really focus on metadata. If you don't know what that is, go back and look at the prior lunch and learns where we discussed this, but everything should look pretty when we add this, right? And so you can play with the title, you can play with the description. So you could change this to, my interview with BizNexus, et cetera, et cetera. But then when you save it, you're going to have that blocked out with the interview right there on your featured section. So again, in terms of setting up a profile that helps establish you as a business broker, as a qualified authority in the world of business acquisition and sale, and speaks directly to the business owner who might be thinking of selling their company, everything that we're talking about with the social selling program to bring people to a bulletproof, optimized profile when they get there, if they see an interview there with you, that's going to be helpful. So that's a nice little content hack that we're doing for free. We are rolling out premium content with BN.Digital. So just be aware, we'll be putting up a paywall for this, just a monthly membership. Current clients get that for free, along with all the other content. So that is that first hack here. And this second hack, again, we keep these things at 15 minutes, so they're short and sweet, and hopefully have takeaway value. And these are recorded, so you can go back and review it if I'm speaking too quickly, or if you need to follow the steps. You can always go to BN.Digital and do exactly what I'm doing here. But this Rolodex hack is something that is really useful for business brokers, especially in today's environment where we always recommend financial advisors as your first referral contact that you want to build up, right? When you're building up your deal pipeline, financial advisors have aligned incentives with business brokers, typically, right? So if a financial advisor has a client who's a business owner and they're in a position where they should be thinking about an exit, well, if it makes sense for that client, ultimately the financial advisor will have capital to manage, and you hopefully can help facilitate that by guiding their clients through an exit plan, through evaluation, and ultimately through a transaction. So a financial advisor is a really, really great referral prospect where accountant might want to hold on to the business. Lawyers are hit or miss, but financial advisors typically are always open for a conversation, and you can really build goodwill with your business brokerage practice and multiple financial advisors in your area or niche if you do it the right way. So you want to be reaching out to financial advisors, and when you do, you can. So it's a little creepy, but basically, let me get back here. Where are we? So you want to reach out to these financial advisors, and when you have a conversation, right? So if let's say you're on LinkedIn and you're reaching out to a financial advisor, and then you follow up and let them know that you work with business exit planning, and would you like to hop on a phone call to have a discussion about what I typically do with financial advisors. Depending on where the discussion goes, maybe you can coordinate a webinar for your target prospects, for high net worth individuals who own businesses, and you can have that on your website, and that's really popular in today. That's something you're seeing a lot of. But you also want to open the door for mutual introductions at some point with a financial advisor. If I can introduce you to anyone in my network, let me know, vice versa. And then at some point in the relationship, and I leave this to your own sales personality, but at some point in the relationship with a financial advisor, you can play this card. And LinkedIn has a great feature which can help you play this card very, very well. So if you go into your network, right, and you look at your connections, and ideally, the name of the financial advisor. I'm just going to type financial advisor because I'm sure someone has that in their title. There we go. Okay. Got lucky on this. So Steve, financial advisor. Let's say I want to go into Steve's network and I want to see if there are any whale business owners here. I realize this is a little creepy, but it is effective. And if you want to look at this, you can see right here, connections of Steve, and you can start filtering these, right? So I'm gonna get rid of first degree connections. I just want second degree connections who I'm not in direct contact with. And let's say Their title is owner, right? And I'm going to go ahead and apply this. So here I have 21 people in Steve's Rolodex, not in my Rolodex, who are owners of companies. And I can look through these, and if there's anybody, you don't want to go with a list of 20 people, but if you have 5 business owners who you know are connected with a financial advisor, and you know you're going to be sitting down with this financial advisor at some point, you can play that card and you can get the introduction. I do not recommend, I never recommend reaching out directly to a business owner without the permission of a financial advisor. But if you develop that relationship, again, starting on LinkedIn, bring this over to a real world relationship, and then getting the LinkedIn connection to an owner, and then getting the real world relationship with the owner, that's the process. And that's something that, at scale is very efficient. So that is the Rolodex hack there. Hopefully that's helpful. And I'll end with just the heads up that we do have the new content going live on BN.Digital, premium membership subscriptions. Again, if you're an agency client with us, it's all free, but we'll have more premium content, longer sessions like this, just not crammed into 15 minutes. And we'll have more done for you blogging and video interview options to help with your content marketing. So stay tuned for that. So I'm just going to open it up for any questions if anybody has any. We're just at about the 1:15 mark. And again, I'll hang out for a minute here just to see if anybody starts asking questions. But if not, I'll close it out and we'll have this live on the site by Friday. And we'll email you the link to that questionnaire. If you want to get your own blog post up on the site, we'll take care of that for you. All right, guys. Well, I don't see any questions coming through. So as always, you'll have a question coming your way. What did you like about this? What would you improve? What would you change? Your feedback is really helpful as we do these lunch and learns. We're really trying to make this valuable for you, and we're trying to keep this in a very condensed format. So, we have had some people asking for longer sessions, and we'll have those rolling out. But for the lunch and learns, we do want to try to keep these things at 15 minutes. So please answer the questionnaire, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you.